Hi, I'm Janice from Joyful Heart Yoga. Thanks for joining me. So I hear a lot about sciatica or piriformis syndrome, and that's when the nerve is kind of compressed in the muscles along the outer hip. And sometimes it's one-sided, sometimes we have pain on both sides. And if you work with your physical therapist, they'll take you all through different stretches as well as some strengthening. But sometimes it's nice to come into a restorative shape where the body can relax and you're not doing any work. So that's what we're going to focus on today. If you have a bolster or maybe a stack of blankets or something just to create some height here for you to come into your twist, as well as a blanket or a pillow for underneath your head, that might feel really supportive. So if you're coming from home and you don't have your traditional props, just always remember you can use what you have around the house, right? A thick blanket that you can fold up, a pillow, so yoga blocks, just make yourself comfortable. And we're gonna come on down to our backs. And so support the head and neck. You can have your feet bent for a moment and take a few moments to just connect here with your breath. And then our feet are bent, or our knees are bent with feet on the floor. We're going to shift our hips a little bit over to the right and let your left leg extend long. Bring your right knee in and start to bring it across the body. So now this hip is lifting and you're going to slide whatever you have to use as your support underneath. So some people, maybe this bolster needs to come up higher, right? That looks too high in my body. If the bolster's too low, maybe you take a blanket. So whenever you're coming into some of these restorative poses, it's kind of Goldilocksing it. Maybe I take a block on top of the bolster, right? Or another folded blanket if I had it, or a little pillow, to try to find just that place where I don't feel like I am working to hold my body, that the props are coming to meet me and hold me in the shape. And then my arms can relax really wherever is comfortable because we're focusing more on this hip. But if you want, you can have the arms wide or high. And then closing the eyes and begin to settle into the shape. You can just let your attention settle on your breath. Perhaps you use this time to really feel into the healing qualities, right? That you are bringing nourishment and blood flow and ease to the areas that are tight or compressed. Allowing your body to settle and rest. And as you do settle, maybe you need to adjust your blocks or your props. Maybe you need a little bit more, right? You feel like it's getting a little bit more challenging to hold yourself there. Or maybe your body begins to settle a little bit more and you can reduce the prop and still not do the work. So in this particular pose, we're trying not to hold tension or to work, but to let the body settle. And you are very welcome to stay here longer. And when you practice this on your own, know that you can stay here for 5-10 minutes. But we're going to move on to the other side. Or you can just let the video play or even pause it and stay here longer and then come to the other side. So from here, just slowly take your time, come back to center, let your right foot come to the floor, shift your hips to neutral, bring your left foot next to your right. Maybe just a really slow rocking. Notice how that feels. And we'll take that to the other side. I'm just going to, so I can still look at you, flip myself around, but you can just move your props to the other side. And then you're going to recognize that you might have a different setup for the other side, right? So you might need more or less props and support for this side. So you're lying on your back, feet are on the floor with bent knees. You shift your hips now a little bit to the left as your right leg extends long. Bring your left knee in and then start to twist over. So you are adjusting your proppage here. Again, blocks, blankets, pillows. And allow yourself to come into the shape on this side. And again, I probably would want a blanket versus the block, kind of in between right now. And you let yourself settle. And then again, stay here for longer if you have the time. And when you're ready to come out, you slowly come back onto the back, left foot to the floor, shift your hips to neutral. Let the right leg come next to the left, a little rocking. You can rest here for a few moments. And then whenever you're ready, begin to make your way back up to go about the rest of your day or your evening. So I hope that helped, just thinking about that rest coming into the parasympathetic nervous system and the healing properties of rest. So as much as those active poses and stretches and strengthening can be healing, so can the more restorative. Thanks for joining me.